Procrastination is an assumption that God owes you more time to do what you were supposed to do now. When I read the quote, I immediately changed because I realized that I am not entitled to anything. God does not owe me anything, and I need to take the time that I am given now to do what I am supposed to do now. Hi guys, welcome to All Things Octavia. I am your girl Octavia, and once again thank you for joining me. Please take this time to subscribe on my channel. I would really love you to be part of my journey and we walk it together. Today I want to talk about procrastination. Guys, I want to talk about this because it is something that I have been struggling with for such a very long time until I read the quote that I said in the beginning of the video. That, we think that we have more time. We think that God owes us enough time to do what we are supposed to do now. Growing up, I used to call myself a late bloomer. Because I would feel like every time I'm so late in doing everything, my peers would start things and I would only adapt at a later stage to do them. Sometimes I would feel like my peers are more successful than me, and I would feel like because I get things so late, I'm a late bloomer. That's why I called myself a late bloomer. But now I realize that I'm actually not a late bloomer. I'm actually an early adapter, guys. I am honestly an early adapter, but I'm an early adapter that is very afraid. I'm an early adapter that is very anxious. So hence procrastination. Hence procrastination in my life. I remember when it was lockdown and TikTok began to be a big thing in 2020. I was one of the first people to join into TikTok and, wanting to be part of that community. But because I was so afraid of how people would receive me, I just stopped doing it. And now 2 years later, I want to get into it because I see that, it's a wonderful community. It's a community that really embraces people that go into it, and it's a community that grows. Take my YouTube channel for an example. I did this in 2019 when I released my first single, More Than a Dreamer. But only now, 3 years later, I'm doing my fourth video, because as much as I adopt into things early, I let fear and anxiety take over my life and sort of delay what could have been a good thing, hence this video of today about procrastination, always postponing and postponing and postponing. Now I'm going to talk about procrastination in my life. First of all, I think most of us are procrastinators because when we hear people talk, especially when you're in high school or when you're a student, you would get an assignment. I know with me, I would get an assignment or I'd have to study for an exam or a test, and only like in the last day, you'd really be focusing on that thing, on the test or on the task or whatever. So I think most of us are procrastinators. But now the question is, what happens when you do not have a deadline, Because I believe there is two types into procrastination. There is you procrastinating, but there's a deadline, and then there is you procrastinating and there is no deadline. For an example, when we talk about exams, when we talk about projects, when we talk about things that we need to submit at work, there is always deadline. So even if you procrastinate, there is a deadline that you were given by this time, this thing has to be in. So even if you procrastinate, you will make sure that, in the last day, even if you do it on the last day or the last minute, but it will be done. But now what happens when there is no deadline? And now you are a procrastinator. So meaning you might be delaying things all your life because of certain things. Hence, I needed to find out for myself, what is this one thing or these two things or three things that are keeping me from doing what I want to do, because I'm a creative, I'm an entrepreneur, and I don't have deadlines. My things that I'm in, they don't have deadlines. They depend solely on me. So now if I don't have a deadline and I have this thing that is standing in front of me, which is procrastination, how do I overcome it? First of all, I need to find out what causes it, and then I need to find out how I overcome it. And I realized that there is only two things for me in my life. I don't know about you. Please state in the comments, if you are procrastinating like me, what do you think are the things that are stopping you to reaching your dreams or to doing things in the time that they're supposed to be done in? I would love to hear those comments. But coming back to me, I realized that there is two things, guys, only two things that are delaying my progress. And that is, like as you saw in my video, it is fear and it is anxiety. Guys, for me, fear plus anxiety equals to delay. Let's talk about fear. A lot of people, or a lot of us growing up, we used to hear that fear is false evidence appearing real. So meaning we are afraid of something that is not really real. We are afraid of something that is not even there. Afraid of something that might not even exist. And this is my number one delay. Guys, I am so afraid of things that I don't know. I am afraid of the future. I am afraid of the unknown. I love comfort zone so much that I would stay in my little corner of comfort. I was reading Who Moved My Cheese. I don't know if you've ever read Who Moved My Cheese. You know, I think I used to be the ham. I am so comfortable in my own corner that I am so afraid to move out and see what other corners have for me to get my cheese. You know? So I realized that fear was one of the things that really stops me from, or not necessarily stops me, but delays me to getting to the things that I need to get to or things that I need to get done. So I realized that I am such an afraid being. As much as I appear confident, you know, a lot of people will meet me, it's like, yo, you have it together, you are so confident. Yo, guys, as much as I'm confident, I am so much afraid of the unknown. I'm so much afraid of not knowing what the world holds for me. I'm that one person that always wants to know what is coming next. Am I going to be safe where I'm going? Is it going to be a safe space for me? Am I going to do well there? Am I going to be comfortable there? And which is one of the things it took me such a long time for me to do this video. To do this channel thing, because I've always been afraid of how I will be received, if if I'll be received well or not, if people would understand what I'm talking about, or even if I will have things to talk about. I would be afraid to think, what if I run out of things to talk about? And for a person who loves talking like me, I don't know why I was thinking that. I don't know why I would think that, why would I be afraid of running out of things to talk about? I mean, come on, And that is number one, being afraid of not knowing, being afraid of getting out of your comfort zone, being afraid of, just getting yourself out there and just going with it. That is my number one challenge of procrastination. And number two challenge is anxiety. Guys, I suffer so much from anxiety. It's not even funny. I remember when I had my first show in 2020. I had my first show, and I've never done a show again since that one, but I am planning to do another one. But anywho, I had my own first show in 2021. No, 2021, I think. Not quite sure. 2021. Yeah? No? Okay. Anyway, I had my first show and everything went well. When it comes to planning, guys, I plan to the T. I plan to even the first word that I'm going to say when I get onto stage. That's the kind of person I am. I'm a big planner. So I planned my show, but things will never go the way that you want them to go. Things will go the way they are supposed to go. I believe things goes the way God plans them to go. Even if you have your own plans, like the Bible says, God's plan will always be the one that prevails. In the beginning of my show, everything, the sound was set up in time, everything was done. I was there in time to start the show at 6 o'clock. The people were there. Actually was one of the first people to, when my guest arrived, I was already there, dressed, makeup, everything. I'm that person. And then when the show was supposed to start, the sound was not, there was no sound. The sound was playing, You're me and sound, guys. I remember in my first video I told you guys about the sound. I think I need to pray about the sound thing. I think the devil loves to play with my sound. The devil loves to play with my sound. But anyway, the sound was not playing. There was no sound. They changed the mixer. The mixer also burned. And I started panicking. Now when I'm anxious, I get a running tummy. My tummy runs like wild. And then I vomit. And then I will be eating my teeth. Like I would be so agitated. And I realized that because I give myself such high expectations of anything, then I become afraid to fail, hence my anxiety. And this goes back to even when I was a teenager, when I was in high school. I remember when I went for my first audition. Then there was something that was called Pop Idols. And I was 19, in my first year, and I went to do auditions. And I had such high expectations because I knew, I'm like, your girl can sing, And I went to the auditions, and this lady's like, "Oh, you're too loud." And Zoe Bala's like, "No, we can do something with the sound, And then I went to the second round, but I didn't make it to the third round. But because I had such high expectations, the failure of not making it made me become so anxious. Made me become doubtful of myself, and that's where anxiety stems from in my life. I give myself such high expectations, and because I'm afraid to fail, I become agitated, I become anxious, I want to know what's going to happen, Hence procrastination. Once again, I procrastinate because I know I suffer from anxiety and I am afraid to fail. I am so afraid to fail, guys. Only now that I'm getting older, I'm no longer afraid to fail anymore. I realize that failure is part of life, and sometimes failure is for your own preservation. Only now I realize that failure is for your own preservation, and I will do another video based on that alone. But now I'm doing about procrastination, and I now growing up, I realize that failure sometimes can be good for me, and hence I have stopped becoming a procrastinator. I'm still afraid, I'm still fearful, I am still anxious, but now that I've identified those two things and knowing that they are the reasons I procrastinate, I have started doing the 5-second rule of breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When they come, I just breathe, and then I know that I have to just do it, which is coming to my next point. How do I overcome, or how am I overcoming procrastination daily? And this is a daily battle for me, guys. Even with these videos, it's a daily communication with myself that you gotta do another video. You promised you're gonna do another video, so you gotta show up. You gotta be there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Yes, you are afraid. Yes, you are anxious, but you're gonna do it. And I just do it. Yes, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm anxious, but I'm not gonna delay. I am just going to do it. So that is how I am overcoming my procrastination. I'm overcoming it by just going out there and just doing it, guys. And I am giving you that advice as well. I am not a psychologist or anything like that. sorry, I'm actually not even here to give advices, but when you are a procrastinator like me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe and just do it. If you want to start a YouTube channel like me, go for it. Do it. Stop being afraid. Stop being anxious. Just do it. When you want to start a business, stop being afraid. Stop being anxious. Just do it. When you want to start, I don't know, when you want to be a singer, or you want to be an actress, or you want to be whatever, you want to go study, do it. Guys, just do it. Tell yourself that you have got nothing to lose. I tell myself every day that, girl, Lovey, you have nothing to lose. Lovey, if this video is only going to be watched by one person or two, if you can only change one person's life, you are good. Don't put yourself in a place where you have such high expectations that when you fail, then you find that you feel actually that you are a disappointment, or you regard yourself as a disappointment. So the only reason that procrastination is not working for me anymore is because I have decided that I am just going to do it. I have nothing to lose. I mean, at my age, come on, I really don't have anything to lose. I have lost so many things in my life. One more thing, even if I can lose anything, it's not really gonna kill me. I think it's not gonna kill me. So yeah, stop being afraid. Stop being anxious. Stop delaying. And just do it. Thank you once again for watching this. I hope it did well for you. I hope you understood it. I hope it changes your lives. And remember, tell your friends about my channel. Please like my video. Please comment. I really want to hear from you. I want to hear that, you know, people are there on the side of this camera. So please talk to me. Please communicate. Please comment. And please subscribe. Let us grow this community. Let us grow my channel. Let us be one family together. And most probably eventually one day we will have a name. You know, like a nice, sassy name for ourselves. But thank you once again for watching. I love you. God loves you. And have a wonderful day.